All right, we're going live on the Sure at Friends podcast, baby. At the guest, Josh. How you say your last name?
Demas.
Demas, JoshDemas, baby. Let's go. Oh yeah, so I got that rolling. If anybody jumps in and they want to ask any questions, Josh was on the WNO Who's Up Next series with me. We were on the first season, baby. Flow grappling, shout it out. Let's go, bro.
Let's do it.
Yeah, what's been going on? Well, how did you get invited to go onto the show? Like, how did that whole situation work out? How'd you hear about it? How'd you apply? What was that like?
Yeah, no, I followed Flow Wrestling and Flow Grappling for a while, just from like wrestling and growing up when they had first began, and I had seen that, and I had just started getting into loved it. And I saw that the best in the world were about to be on there, and I wanted to find a way to compete with them. So I sent in a video. I did all that fun, and I was blessed for the opportunity to get on.
Amen, baby. Amen to that. Let's go. What kind of video did you send them?
Honestly, I sent them mostly of like my wrestling. I didn't have much of my jiu-jitsu stuff online at the time, or even really right now. I've had a lot of injuries, so I've really been able to compete lately. But yeah, I just sent them mostly like my wrestling highlights and just saying that I was eager and thought I could bring a lot to the table. I thought I could bring more than I showed, but I had a good time.
Yeah, that's all right. I had a good time too. So what I know you told me, well, when we were at the show, you told me you were only a white belt at the time. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I had just started training. I had done jiu-jitsu worlds at blue belt, where I had taken second. I was pursuing jiu-jitsu a lot more then, and I was like, just trying to embrace the difference between wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Kind of fell in love with it. Can you still see?
It kind of blinked out for a second, but I can still hear you.
Sorry, I was getting a call. Now can you see me?
Yeah, it's coming back up.
All right.
So yeah, you were just kind of dabbling between the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
had you done many other like jiu-jitsu competitions before going on to the show?
I had just done the worlds, and I had a background in judo as well. So I grew up doing judo. So I don't know, I like all forms of combat and all challenges.
Yes, indeed. Cool, but yeah. So when you say you did the worlds, is that IBJJF like in the
Yeah.
gi, and then judo's also in the gi, right? You hadn't done anything no gi.
No, I did actually. I had only done no-gi.
Okay, yeah, again, going with your wrestling and everything.
Yeah.
So how's that going with jiu-jitsu? Are you still training a lot? Did you rank up? Are you a blue belt now?
I'm actually a purple belt now, but yeah, I trained Red Hawk Academy
Nice.
with Tim Welch and Sean O'Malley and all those other guys out there. So
Wow.
I wish I could train more than I've been able to, just with work and life and everything and injuries, but still loving it, still kicking it, still trying to stay in shape.
Yeah. Man, I just pinched a nerve recently too, so I've been out of practice shape. But yeah, I don't want to have to talk about jiu-jitsu the whole time. But while we're still talking about it, like you was training, or it was just outside of the gym practicing.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What is the extent of your injury right now? You just like pulled a hamstring, or?
I like have a stress fracture on my foot, so having to stay in my guard a lot more than I enjoy being in, but it's given me an opportunity to grow and expand my jiu-jitsu.
Nice. Yeah. So I know I follow you on Instagram. I'm on live right now, so I can't look it up. What it is? It's just your name, JoshDemas.
JDEMAS.
Yeah, so for anybody that wants to follow you, is super interested. I saw you was on a different reality show, huh? Was it
Yeah,
Love Is Blind? Or
yeah. It was a different form of reality show, but instead of having the possibility of getting choked or armbarred, we were out there trying to find love, which can be a little bit more scary at times.
yeah, yes, indeed it is. You gotta take a leap of faith sometimes.
Yeah.
So how'd you get on that show? Like, because I remember you told me was maybe like your manager had found that for you for Who's Up Next and
Yeah.
everything. Like you got a manager who's like helping you get on all these programs and things.
Yeah, well, with that, with Love Is Blind, it was different. Like they have like a whole different like application process and everything. You're doing like maybe 2 to 3 interviews. They're just getting really to know you better, if you're a right fit, to see if you're actually like searching for love, unlike WNO, where it's searching to see who can armbar somebody. But yeah, they want to make sure that you're right fit, that you're going to be there for the right reasons, and you are ready to take that leap of faith.
Were you ready for love, Josh? Did you find it?
Uh, Trying. I found it in a certain sense, but just like jujitsu, finding love can be hard at times also.
Yeah. Well, I'd seen that you were on a program. I didn't really tune into it or anything. Maybe I'll check it out. Is there did you watch the season back? Like, is there any like awesome, funny moment or clip, like big drama fight or something? If I can go back and cue it up, that you'd want me to show?
Oh man. Mm,
Or
it
the
was
highlight of being on the show? Yeah.
it was a lot, to be honest. I got too drunk at one point on the show. I
Oh
made
Lord.
a
Yeah. Yes, Lord.
it happens. Like it's funny because anybody that knows me knows I really don't drink. Even like when we're out in Austin, I didn't even drink, but I decided to drink on there, and I was training because I was gonna go do Pan Am's at the time, and I was cutting weight and drank and just made absolute ass out of myself.
Yeah, cutting and drinking is never a good time.
No, no. So I unfortunately wasn't everybody's favorite, to be honest. Um, it happens. It's with like jujitsu or any combat sport, you're like taught to like put any type of feelings aside. Like you're like a robot essentially. Like you know what I mean? Like trying to beat that other person. Even if you are hurt, you really don't show that emotion. So like going out there and like trying to express like how much I care about somebody. Um, felt uncomfortable at the time for myself, but it was a very good opportunity to grow as a person, and um, I look back on those times and I really appreciate it.
Nice. So would you do it again if you had to sign up?
Yeah, I would just do a couple things a little bit differently, but
Hmm.
the past is the past. Uh, yeah, it was a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, damn, dude, I'm feeling some more reflection on this show than on WNO. This one really got to you, huh?
Well, yeah, on WNO, it was it was hard because I ended up having, I mean, Isaac first round, which he's an amazing heavy.
Yeah.
And my one weakness is just leg locks. And as soon as he got the leg lock, I was like, all right, I'm done. Like I wasn't even trying to fight it at all. There's just like your shirt said, I thought my ankle was about to break. So,
Ankle breakers. Yeah, Renee had given me this shirt at some point
oh, I
during
miss.
the course of filming. Yeah, I love Renee too. We stay in touch. We send memes like I don't know. We stayed in touch for a good bit after the show, and then Instagram kind of like stopped prioritizing you in my algorithm. So I like whenever I'm like chain sending memes, you kind of you fell off the train. But We used to get it up, huh, dude? Talking about Boy Meets World and everything.
Yeah, for the days. Some good.
Yeah, it was fun. So kicking it back to WNO, like what did you think of that whole experience? Like, was it what you was expecting? How was it like just hanging out with the guys for the time that you was there? Like,
I honestly thought that was an amazing experience. I thought everybody was very professional. Interviews, everything, and even just like competing against Isaac, him and I were actually roommates.
well, damn, dude.
Yeah, worked out like the day before, and everybody was just like there's like that rivalry in a sense. I like felt like from people, but I feel like everybody was really were really nice. You know what I mean? Everybody was good people, and you
Yeah, that's so crazy. The jiu-jitsu community, more often than not, like everybody is like super gentlemanly, like very friendly and
yeah,
very kind of they're well, actually, I take it back. I was gonna say there's a lot of extroverts, but there's a lot of introverts in jiu-jitsu too, with people that just kind of want to nerd out, do their thing, and just kind of focus in on the moment. But yeah, it was cool. You're right. I mean, like you said, everything was super professional. From the moment you touch down and get off the plane, they already got the camera crews and everything rolling and taking you to the hotel and everything, which was super dope. They had us in a very nice hotel. They didn't shortchange us at all. I didn't feel like we were like not in the budget. In other words, like they really seemed like they wanted to take care of the fighters, the athletes, and I guess like the talent. I guess for like an entertainment show kind of thing. That they really kind of went all out to make us feel welcome and did the most to just appreciate us for our time there.
and I think like you said, I think that they did um
And the flow office was dope too.
yeah
I know they had moved a couple times, I think, since we were back there. But they had like all those catered meals, snacks, and everything. So the whole thing was just kind of like top notch. I mean, especially because the whole point of the show, right, was to kind of like elevate some of the more amateur or lesser known jujitsu athletes and kind of promote them, give them a little spotlight so that they can start, getting a taste of that life, maybe getting some sponsors and just kind of showing people who you are, what you're about, and what it's like to be treated nice.
yeah, and they definitely did a great job doing that, and like I really appreciated getting to like meet a lot of people, a part of like the flow grappling industry, as well as seeing Piles. I had known him when he
Chris
was
Piles,
yeah, I had known
let's
him
go.
growing up and everything, so it was really nice getting to see him again. Some familiar faces.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't know y'all had known each other. You still stay in touch with anybody else?
It's just vaguely, like just like you said, like me. Uh,
you, you should be messaging Isaac like once a month, like 2 a.m. Still thinking about you, Rumi. What's up, Rumi?
yeah,
Coming for them ankles, Rumi.
yeah, yeah. I don't want him breaking any of my ankles. Maybe I'll start doing it. See if he calls the police on me or something.
Yeah, I don't even know where he's at right now. I know he was back in Australia for a little while. But yeah, I mean, do you know? Obviously, he won the show.
Yeah,
And, have you been keeping up with anyone's careers since the WNO finale?
see him. Uh, Kyle Chambers. You see, watch their stories. Big Dan, he's doing really well.
Dude,
Uh,
Big Dan.
yeah, it's been really nice seeing everybody flourish in jiu-jitsu and just in life in general.
Right. Yeah, it's great. I love to stay in touch, and then like as I'm scrolling through the gram, I see like highlights of stuff. I'm like, whoa, I know him. Like I was on the show. It was sweet. He's such a cool guy. Tackett wrestled that dude that steer down. That was an insane moment. Did you see that? Did you watch the whole series?
Yeah, of course. Uh,
Dude,
I thought,
littlest dude
didn't you like
tip
shit
that cow.
me?
Yeah, I was a
That's
Danaher
hilarious.
imposter.
That
Don Jonaher.
that
I mean,
was
dude, no, that wasn't me. That was John Danaher. What are you talking about?
yeah. That's didn't know he was coming on the show. So yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
it was a surprise to everybody. Yeah, dude, that was super slick. Yeah, I know. I see Kyle Chambers, like you said, a lot too. He pops up in my news feed. I saw one with him and Andy Varela. He had done
Yeah.
like some kind of sweep, took his back. It was like a mad scramble. Kyle's inverting, and it was just like you said, super nice to see everybody like use that show and just really like kind of springboarding it to something else. And I mean, I know you had got on the other show. You got anything else coming up? You about to be on any more reality shows?
Not right now. I'm finishing my math at the moment, so I've been working, doing jujitsu when I can, and trying to get schoolwork done. I've not always been the best student, so I've been really buckling down, trying to make sure I don't procrastinate.
Gotta pump them grades. Get some good grades, boys and girls. Stay in school. Chew your corn. Eat your veggies.
Of course.
What you studying?
I'm gonna be a therapist.
Oh, what kind of therapist? Physical therapist? Mental therapist?
I want to do like family and marriage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Is it inspired by some stuff from that show you was on? Oh yeah, it hurt you deep, huh?
yeah, no, actually, I learned a lot from that show, just as being like being able to look at other people's point of views. You know what I mean? We all come from different areas of life, and I think that kind of like what gave me the idea of going and pursuing that.
Nice. That was just something more recent for you. That wasn't something that you had always dreamed that you was gonna be like growing up.
No.
I always knew I was gonna be a sewer rat, dude. Oh,
Chewing on your corn. Yeah, no, I get that.
that's right. Mm-hmm.
What about you? How's life
All
going?
right. Life is going good. I mean, after the show, um, originally, like before they brought us back for the finale and everything, I was working for the state, cutting trees for the parish, and I really enjoyed that job. And then met a girl, baby, met a girl, just like you. I met her like kind of. We weren't really. I guess yeah, we were probably dating like right as I had gone out for the show because that was like October. We got together maybe like July, August, something like that. So it was still kind of new. So now we're engaged.
Congrats, that's awesome, man.
Yes, indeed. Bought a house and I got 8 chickens. We're growing old and raising some chickens, like one of my songs. I'm about to make a music video for that. But
That's awesome.
yeah, dude. You heard any of my music I put on the SoundCloud?
Yeah, you some of it.
Yeah. They play the sewer rat, baby. Don't you touch that dial. Scratch you up. She in denial. Ha! Yeah, so I don't know. So like I said, I was working with the parish at the time, and then we started going out, and then she had told me about going to work at the post office. So I've been doing that for like coming up on a little over 2 years now. But the post office was just sapping so much energy from me because as I was getting up into the show, dude, I was being a lot more active and everything on social media. I was creative, dropping some content, but then just getting involved with everything that was the muck mire that the post office is. It took so much emotional drainage from me, and I just wasn't feeling super creative. So I've been doing a lot of judo, like training practice, not so much jujitsu lately. Um, but just focusing on, like I said, that relationship. We had bought the house, focusing on some judo, and just kind of living my life. But right now, that's why I'm starting kind of all this up. I pinched a nerve
Yeah.
while I was at work, and it was like a radiating pain, dude. And every time I twist, I can still feel it. And I didn't want to tweak it a little bit more, so I'm still taking some time from work, and I've been had this project in the back of my mind, dude, because when I don't know, Hollywood Mike,
Yeah.
I saw him doing some like exposés, and that's always what he's doing, right? Is checking in on like the scene, and I think he's doing like ADCC and everything right now, interviewing fighters and Gordon. And I just like I saw like a juxtaposition in my mind of like him and then like, like the classic, like where are they now type stories. Like when Michael Jordan, like what's that one that he just did with his
On Netflix?
yeah.
I think it was like The Last Dance, I want to say.
Yeah, that's it. The Last Dance. And like, how he's just sitting there and he's like talking. I was like, dude, we need to have like Hollywood Mike or somebody breaking it down, making it look like an 80s throwback flashback, like WNO, where are they now? And just like, had like a follow-up series to the series. Dude, because I was disappointed. Well, it was cool. They did the finale, I guess, which is the main thing, right? Is the finale. But they never like end capped it. They didn't like, I don't know if they released that as an episode or if that was just like a live stream finale. But yeah, I don't know. It felt a little incomplete. They kind of like left me hanging a little bit. So that's why I was like, dude, we need to go back, get some closure. You know what I'm saying? And especially, I guess now a little time's passed. Probably a little too much time has passed since the show because. But I can still remember, like I said, walking down those hallways. Yeah, I got the camera crew. I'm like knocking on all the doors, like making them like everybody come outside, like what's going on. And I don't know, just having a good time. And I just thought this would be something cool and something fun to do. So
yeah, I'm glad you up. I'm feel privileged just to be a part of it.
Yeah, dude. Of course. Oh, I can't leave you out, my dog. Like Feeney across the fence.
Yeah.
Let me see. I had put up a list of questions. I think we just about covered everything. But I just want to make sure I got complete. Yeah, it wasn't anything in particular. It's not no kind of professional journalism or nothing. Ain't no gotcha moments or anything. I just wanted to have a conversation with you about it. Anything, we shouted out your Instagram earlier. If you want to leave anything for the audience, any kind of upcoming projects, anything, tell about anybody you're working on or something motivational, just to kind of close out the segment, or anything else you want to talk about.
Trying to think. I would say anybody that's getting into jiu-jitsu, just remember it's not always going to be easy, but it's not always going to be hard. I think consistency is the biggest thing in anything you do in life. So I think that's what helped me achieve what I did, especially like in wrestling and like even like my family members. My brother was a multiple world team member as well, an All-American. And I think the thing that helped us achieve those goals was just staying consistent inside the gym. I know it's harder for like you and I now that we're older, we're working, blah, blah, but I think also for people who are in the similar situation that we are in, if you can make the time to go to the gym, not even just to become a champion, but just for like health reasons as well, it's great to stay in shape and
Yeah, that's true, dude. Consistency, and that's also great marriage advice, by the way.
Yeah,
you're gonna have good days and bad days, but y'all gotta remember we're in it for the long haul. Yeah, so I was kind of doing a little bit of research. I pulled up your Instagram. What was the why do you have the Netflix handle in your bio? You working for Netflix?
no, that's just because I was a part of Love Is Everything.
Oh, okay, so they had you put that in the bio.
Yeah, like I think like everybody does that, like on the show, actually.
Gotcha. Nice.
I'll put
what?
Flow Grappling here soon.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I mean, you got a little bit more time, or?
Yeah.
So I think part of what is also making this super unique is that we've all got those separate backgrounds and everything. And if anybody had ever wanted to reach out to you, I mean, I do a lot of like my own like personal content,
Yeah.
but being as you have experience, and I'm just trying to think of things maybe viewers would be interested in, especially like, just talking because it's you. Did you enjoy working like with an entertainment manager? You had that? Like, would you recommend that for somebody? How would they find somebody? If that's a question you'd feel comfortable answering.
Yeah, I think it just depends on your situation. I don't have one anymore, to be honest. It's just like, what do you want if you are getting into like that entertainment industry, what are your needs? You know what I mean? Like, do you want to run ads for people? Do you want to be an influencer? Do you want to do these things? Or because a lot of times you can somewhat manage yourself to a certain point. You know what I mean?
Especially with today's technology and everything.
Yeah.
But I would think the benefit of maybe having a manager is somebody who's already got kind of like network connections and like, you know, can put your name in the hat for different categories and things.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was gonna say that, Max, is like just like in anything, like even like an MMA manager, they're able to open up different opportunities for you that you might not have had or been aware of. So again, just what do you want? There's there's so many different types of managers and different managers out there. What can somebody bring best to the table, I guess?
How would somebody even go about looking for a manager? You just gonna trust somebody you find on Google? Like, was yours like a family friend or something?
Just from networking, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine was just from
Yeah,
network.
yeah, I got you.
I don't want to say anything and like come off as like a lie. Like, oh yeah, I did this and did this. I had a friend who already had one, so
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how it works, right? You just
yeah.
know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. But it wasn't like you didn't go to like any, I don't know, it's not like entertainment mixers or like specialty like I want to be an actor networking events kind of thing, or it was just somebody you went to college with.
Well, I have been to some of those, but again, it's like because I lived in LA for 4 years as well. But it's you just don't know who to trust. You know what I mean? I could say make you a million promises, but you just as soon as you sign, I could be like, oh, I don't know. So I mean, it's kind of hard. It's just what you want and what you're like looking for.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Well,
I don't know, bro.
is there be like a season 2 for WNO?
I've been hitting up Reed, man. I don't know because it seemed like, and then this is all speculation. I don't have any special insider info.
Okay.
It seemed like kind of like the original crew that was like in charge of the project. Because I think what had happened was I don't know if this series was ever like technically a flow like sanctioned event. I think it was maybe something like Mike and everybody just kind of pitched real quick and was like, "Hey, we should do a series," and then it was just kind of like it just broke apart after that. And
Yeah.
it seemed like they had the viewership there. You know, they definitely had the views. Gordon was on the finale episode,
Yeah.
which that's what I'm saying. Like it seemed like kind of spur of the moment because of course we had that big letdown. Tim and Craig never got their showdown coaches match like to complete the whole thing. Like they should have had something in the contract where whoever, you're fighting whoever's the opposing coach. Like not just saying we're matching you up versus Gordon or something.
Yeah.
Because injuries happen, emergencies happen. If they got to go fly out for some family business or something, there's no telling what could happen. And I don't think they had planned for all that. So I don't know how, like, whatever wrench kind of got worked in the system. Like I said, it didn't even feel like they wrapped up the series. Like, dude, so to me, I was like a film minor in college for whatever that means, right? But I read a lot of books. I read a lot of books growing up, so I'm familiar with like the introduction, like a conflict, and then like the story peaks, and then there's like the conclusion or whatever. Like there's a wave, like a buildup to a
Yeah.
narrative, and I didn't even like the way that they started the episodes, if I'm be honest. I mean, because the only way they really, because if you just watch episode one, you've already missed so much. It's not like typical, you tune in a reality TV show. Hey, I'm the surfer guy. I'm from blah, 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 and I want to do that, And it's like, let's meet the contestants. Like the only thing they did, which I guess was kind of smart and maybe saved some things, but like for people that weren't tuning in to their Instagram, where they were dropping all the fighter bios. Remember they had like those 2, 3 different like little info clips about each fighter.
Yeah.
If you never watched that, you don't know who's on the show. You know, it wasn't like a cohesive, like very solid intro. And like, regardless of what happens in the middle, you got to have a strong beginning. You got to have a strong end. And like the beginning was like this, but then the end, I guess could be perceived either way because, you know, you got Gordon on the card at the end, but narratively, it just kind of felt like it kind of fizzled out a little bit.
Yeah. It's moving parts, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot to make a show, and they got all those people, all those editors having to go through all this footage. You know, they're taping maybe like 40 hours a week. They got to have somebody review all that footage for another 40 hours. So I know it is a lot, but you know, I think what it ended up happening, and I don't know if this is anything relating to do with any of that, but Hollywood had gone off and he started, I think maybe his own I don't even know what to call it. Like not like a publishing company or like a filmography company or something. I know he's working on his own projects right now. He's still like good friends with Flo and everybody. Like everybody's on good terms. It wasn't like a sad departure or anything, but I don't know, because it seemed like, you know, with Flo moving so many offices and everything, it seemed like maybe Flo was like restructuring their company, and instead of having all these people on the payroll, probably, you know, maybe it made better sense for everybody to move off in different directions. And I saw maybe like Simone was maybe doing the same thing, and I think Trey is also with them. Connor Jation, I believe, still is a commentator for them sometimes, but those are all good names that I should like try to have come on the show and like just talk about some of behind the scenes kind of thing. Would be some interesting stuff. But I don't know if they're gonna have a season 2, because I think this was Reed's baby, and like I said, Reed's almost like a ghost on Instagram too. I don't know how much stuff he ever posts or anything, so. I'm not sure what his relationship is like with Flo right now, but with Hollywood doing his own thing, and, you know, kind of like the original crew, like, you know, like we were season 1, the original crew, like all of the behind the scenes people just kind of like broke up too. So I could do a who's up next, where are they now behind the scenes with all the camera crew and now everybody, and see what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can build up some hype with this Sewer Rat and Friends podcast, dude, and we can get the world chanting, who's next to? Who's next to?
Yeah, I feel like if you have enough backing, and they know that there's going to be viewership and everything, I don't see why they wouldn't. I think it'd be great. I think I loved watching it. I loved being a part of it. Like I said,
absolutely, it's
everybody
something
top notch. So
yeah, it's something jiu-jitsu's been needing for a while. I know it was something I think Keenan had tried to do, start like a fighter house and everything, and you know, they kind of took that same concept from the Ultimate Fighter,
yeah,
and made a jiu-jitsu spin-off from it, which was brilliant. You know, I mean, I would feel like you couldn't go wrong with that. And, you know, I think the numbers, the viewerships and everything proved it. And it would be awesome to get a who's up next too, because then it could just like kind of keep progressively going, because jiu-jitsu is only getting more popular. And I think what they're really trying to do with this next ADCC, I know I saw, you know, the main guy, Mo, talking about trying to bring this as like a platform to really launch jiu-jitsu into being mainstream. Because I mean, I just really seen a quote lately. I forgot where it was at. It was probably on Instagram scrolling somewhere, but it said like, if you were watching a super high level technical black belt gi match, it would be so boring because nobody would be making mistakes. Nothing would really be happening.
Yeah, it's
and
like
I think
it's so hard because he's like, you're expecting him to do this, this, and this, and then he's expecting you to do this, this, and this. So you're just waiting for those like little signs in order to go. Just like wrestling, you see at the Olympic level, people winning 1-0, 2-0, blah blah blah. It's hard for those like casual fans because they don't see all the little intricate things like,
Right.
here, so then I moved here, and then he went to here, and then it's scoreless, and they don't understand. But like for people that really understand like jiu-jitsu or wrestling at those high levels, you're like, oh dang, he just did this, this, and this. Like I've seen Burroughs set up one double leg with 5 setups.
Damn.
To somebody that doesn't know what he's exactly doing, they're like, oh, that's nice. You know what I mean? Especially with jiu-jitsu, there's so many ways and to get and arm locks and everything. I definitely understand that.
Yeah, and when you're wearing the gi, that just adds a level of secrecy. Like, one, it's like physically obscuring it, but then two, like you don't know how manipulating the fabric is actually controlling your partner's posture. Like, there's a lot to just kind of like wrap your head around gi wise for spectator sport, besides the level of technical expertise just kind of being a limitation, because and I think that's something that they've really got to fine tune is like the time limit matches, because like we're saying for the gi matches, if it's like 6 minutes long, of course nobody wants to make a mistake, nobody's taking any risks for like the first 4.5 minutes, because you don't want to have something happen and then be stuck or not have a chance. So there's really only action like the last 2 minutes of the match. So when you take away the time limits, it forces a different type of competition. Now, totally no time limit matches, I think, is also something that's been a problem. People were not necessarily complaining about, but probably complaining. People complain about everything.
Yeah.
But just like it was I think even Isaac and Kyle Chambers' match.
That's the match.
Yeah, it was just like going on and on and on and on, and like again, that's what we're talking about. These high level competitors, there's a lot of friction and like stalemate opportunities.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some type of balance between a timed match and a no time limit match. And I think EBI kind of hit the sweet spot where they make it like no points for like the first 5 like points, and then if everybody's even, then at the end of like a certain time period, then you go into overtime. I think that's kind of a little bit more of a fair approach in a way of fair not only to the customer, the consumer, the person who's watching the match, for the entertainment and everything, but also fair to the athletes, because if you're preparing for a no time limit match and you get subbed or you sub somebody in a minute, you just did all this cardio training. Like it helps you funnel your training camp down to a bit more of a specific task that you're asking your body to do during these time limits or no time limits,
Yeah.
So I think it would be better for the athletes and better for the viewers to have some type of medium in between those. And I think EBI is kind of a little bit more along those lines. But I don't know what their rule set is, but that's what ADCC is like really going to be hot. It's like maybe like the pride fighting of MMA. It's almost like no rules, no holds barred, like eye gouging, big suplex slams into the judges' tables, and like Spartan kicking people into the stands. So I'm excited for that coming up. I know they've been putting a lot behind that. Like I said, I stay in touch with Hollywood Mike, and just we don't have who's up next yet, but it's the next best thing. And we got the Sewer Rat and Friends podcast, baby. So that'll be a good thing too.
Of course, man. I really appreciate you having me on here. I'd love to talk to you again sometime.
Yeah, let's do it, dude. Don't I got your phone number now, so let's not be strangers.
Of course.
All right, buddy. Wish you the best. Good luck on your tests and your exams. Study hard, study well. To you,
Cool.
car.
Yeah.
All right, love you, buddy.
Love you too.